guys, I'm Priyanka, and on today's episode of Ketchup Talks, we'll be talking to the singer-songwriter Shayan Italia, who recently launched his song Warriors, and it's been winning hearts all over. Hi Shayan, and I'm really glad to be talking to you today. I hope you're doing well with the pandemic and everything that's going around out there. Can you tell me a little bit about how you're doing and what's going on with you?
Okay, thank you for asking. I'm doing okay. I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm very, very busy. I keep myself busy. I stay alone in my place.
Okay.
But there are a number of things to do. As an individual, I would say I'm highly disciplined. I have a schedule of what to do every single day, and
Okay.
sometimes things need to get moved around, but overall, it's pretty good. No complaints. But also to say that I never used to work for a company,
Hmm.
so as a day job. So the pandemic has made everyone else come to my environment. So
I
I've
guess
always
so.
been in the home environment, and I've
Yeah.
always kind of managed on my own and things. I do like to be around other people more,
Hmm.
but it's quite reflective when you are kind of alone. Like I said, I, it's taken a long time
Hmm.
uh, living in Mumbai and trying to see what works, what doesn't, what is my purpose, what should I do, and for me, it's kind of trying to find what makes me happy and
Hmm.
what I like to do. And I realized that there are two passions in my life which I've been doing for a long time. And even though you kind of go through your slumps, you kind of come out of it and you appreciate all of that. And that's wellness and music.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to kind of combine them in my life and make it a little bit more holistic and a little bit more purposeful.
Talking about doing something meaningful and purposeful, you, I think, already have, when you created Warriors. Last I checked, it had some 8 million views. And I was just going through the comments as well. And there are so many people who've said that the song speaks to them, and what they're going through or what they felt. How does that feel, the kind of reaction the song has received? And also, what sort of inspired you to put it out there and create such a beautiful song, if you can tell us a little?
Um, so I was having a chat with my niece some time ago, and we were talking about music and we were talking about purpose and everything. And she's just gone to college, and I wanted to kind of let her settle in and kind of catch up with her. And she always said that basically a lot of the music that I write has a place in
Hmm.
time or a purpose or whatever it is, but it requires with music for her, and she's kind of a teenager. So she said music for her is more time stamped. It's more associated with something that happened. So, for
Hmm.
example, you may not remember the place where, let's say, your best friend had a bridal shower or whatever it is, or the wine you drank, but you'd remember the song you danced to,
True. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So music has a kind of timestamp, and I've never released anything commercially, but then this song came along, and I was thinking her um, on her approach of things, how to look at things from her idea. And I wrote Warriors, and I wrote three different versions of Warriors. And I obviously went with the commercial release, but I wrote the first part of the song, the first chorus part. And I sent it to family and friends, and not saying anything, just saying whatever it is. And they came back saying, "Oh, that's a great song." And when I told them that, "Oh, it's my song," they said, "Oh, you must finish it."
Yeah.
And and it's very apt for today. And I think um, I didn't expect anything from it, and I don't expect anything from it. And it's definitely not some big release by some major label or whatever you want
Hmm.
to. And it does have the potential to go to where it needs to go. But for the moment, everything is so restrictive anyway with COVID. Like even
True.
if you had all the money in the world and you wanted to launch a song, you wouldn't be able to do it in the proper way because there are no live performances. There are no,
No gatherings. I mean,
gatherings,
yeah.
showcasing. You there's no big film for it to release in, and all
Hmm.
that stuff. So there's a lot of restriction in the movement of the song. But at the same time, it's tied to we are in the second wave of the pandemic, and it's possibly a song that can inspire and empower a lot of people. So I think on that turf, it was good to kind of put it out there and also just see how people react to it.
Yeah.
And a very slow burn, but it's kind of growing in a very different way, in its own way.
Hmm.
Like a lot of people, for example, are seeing the video once because it's a lyric video, but then they're going to Spotify and they're kind of looking at it. So the Spotify plays have slowly started to go up.
Yeah.
And you kind of know that initially you have like a very tiny amount because people don't know who you are, but then the analytics kind of tell you that more people are listening to it, repeat
Correct.
listens, saving it, and that kind of it. The only sad part I would say about Warriors is obviously me being in Mumbai City and India not having that big an English market. So therefore, the legwork of a company locally to work with me is almost negligible,
Yeah.
right? That's why, in fact, I approached all of the companies and they themselves said, we don't think we can do anything with this because the market's so small, and
Yeah.
even a lot of music, the English music that they are investing in is very long term. It's trying to change the market as opposed to, oh wow, we've got this kind of
Hmm.
big song or big artist or whatever you want to call it. So I think that's one thing which definitely goes against you, because it's very different launching the song in a country where the primary language is English and you
Yeah.
have an active music market.
Hmm.
Obviously, the players are very different, and the dynamics of the song is incredibly different. It's kind of like saying, I've got a fantastic Hindi song, which is really good, and you're going to the UK to launch it in a big way, while you've got a very prominent Indian market there.
Yeah.
The general market is,
Yeah. It's still different. It's still
intensive.
difficult. Yeah. To get through. Yes.
So I think on that factor, um, it'll take a different recourse and it'll take time to find its place. Having said that, um, it's actually doing pretty well in Australia. A few radio stations have picked it up, and I'm doing constant interviews with people in Australia. So that was quite interesting. Then
Hmm.
Australia's always been a country which is very kind of segmented on its own. They do their
Hmm.
own thing. They're not bound by fads and
The
trends.
trends. Yeah.
So, for them, if something speaks to them in whatever way, it can grow to become prominent in that sector without
Hmm.
affecting anywhere else.
But Chan, going back a little to your journey to, you're from Sikandrabad. Yeah, okay. And then your entire journey to now to this point. If you can just tell us a little bit about how it has been as an artist for you, how difficult or fulfilling, and if you could say anything to the people out there who also want to make a career in this field.
So, to start with, I was born in Sikandrabad, that's correct. And I was born to, I wouldn't say a large family, but very family oriented family. Like it was also very rare because my father's entire family side, from my father and my mother's side, were in Hyderabad,
Okay.
in Twin Cities. So my life actually growing up, I had one best friend because I didn't have space for any more friends.
Hmm.
I had so much family, and my house was kind of like a zoo. And the part is that when you're in that moment, you hate it because you're thinking, I have no space to myself. And I was the
Hmm.
youngest of the family, like literally the youngest of the youngest.
Yeah.
So like when I was like literally like 4 or 3 or 5, every single other person was well grown up to the point of 13, 14,
Hmm.
15. Even my elder brother is much elder to me. So I was always around these kind of adults and the little kind of toy to play around and do whatever it is. So I would not have my sense of space. But today I'm actually completely alone. Even though I know a considerable amount of people in Mumbai, I
Hmm.
still am alone,
Yeah.
right? And it's that void. After my parents passed away, I realized the value of creating this
Hmm.
takes a lot of work, but creating these family-oriented kind of fraternities
Hmm.
are very kind of inclusive. They depend on each other, and they do a lot. And that's actually, in a way, the biggest charm of Hyderabad and Secunderabad. I don't think there's any other city in India that propels that much kind of like if I was in Hyderabad, oh my God, my social life would have been 20 times more. My friendship circle would have been 30 times more.
Yeah.
And it would literally be that kind of place.
Hmm.
If we all open our houses to everyone else. But in Mumbai or a fast-paced metropolitan like Mumbai, Delhi, and the others,
Hmm.
this is actually not so. In fact, when you open your house to a lot of people, there's a kind of, oh, he's too friendly, or she's too friendly, or what do they
Yeah.
want? That kind of point. So, and I also realized the value very, very young of how much energy even two people can bring into the house. Like after my mom and dad passed away, my house was like a ghost town. Like literally, it was like a ghost house in essence. And I was staying there for a little bit before I moved to London. And it was really dead. And it's not just the same house; it's just dead. And you think two people, that's it. And one was in a wheelchair, and the other one was just reading books all day. But human beings carry a sense of energy, and it can be felt. It can be felt in everything.
Sure.
And I think that was really a turning point for me. So my journey has been very different in terms of losing both my parents when I was very young, and then my brother having to take care of me, and and us trying to find our way in this world.
Hmm.
So that part of personal stuff, I can never ever give any advice to people or tell them to do whatever it is. In terms of music, my mom bought me a piano, or she told my dad to buy me a piano before she died, and she never lived to see me play it. And whenever I put my fingers on that piano, I started to write music, initially instrumentals, then started to compose songs, and it was very, very prolific and very fast. Like I was in a month, I was producing one song or two songs or whatever it is, and a lot of people thought it was very, very strong material,
Yeah.
but I didn't have any way to record it, and you know, technology was not very prominent out
Hmm.
where I was. So I went to London to study a sound engineering course and learn music production and everything else. So definitely the basis of what I've done has led me to produce a song like Warriors, and
Yeah.
it's decently recorded. There's a long way to learn it to go to make my recordings possibly sound unbelievable. I mean, anyone sounds rubbish when you compare yourself to someone like Babyface's production or, you
I
know,
think
or
you're.
One's production, whatever it is. But
Hmm.
we're all kind of learning our way through. So I went to London for a long time, and I studied music and business and music management and music production and whatnot. And from a very young age, I was fortunate enough to be introduced well, actually, I wasn't introduced. But someone who seeks out others. So
Yeah.
I'm an avid seeker of people. So if I need someone for something, I will seek them out and I will go right to the top. In a way, it's really weird that how it's happened. Like I even wrote to one of India's biggest businessmen saying, "I'm so and so, so and so, so and so, and I would like to do this," and I got a meeting, right? So I think it's about how you kind of your energy in your communication, how you put something in,
Hmm.
and how it kind of converts.
Yeah.
Uh, but along the way, I've also made tons, like, I mean, way more mistakes than I have good choices.
Hmm.
But, I remember Jeff Bezos saying something really good. He said, Amazon loses billions of dollars a year on experimental products, but one single success outshadows all those billions
All.
of dollars done. And I think that's the case also with any career, is
Hmm.
that you keep moving or you keep learning, and things are just not happening. And then one thing happens, and just from that one launch point, you kind of undo every single thing else. And
Yeah.
it also helps that today everyone, because of social media, has the attention of goldfish.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
actually don't remember what you do wrong. We
Hmm.
don't care. So it's actually a great time in the world to not be embarrassed by failure and actually just do it. Because now, especially after COVID,
Yeah.
everyone is in the soup and everyone is in a hard time. So everyone is failing every day. No matter how rich you are, or no matter how much you think billionaires are making more money, or industrialists, etc. Trust me,
Yeah.
they have other problems which money can't buy, you know, which
Yeah.
are more severe, and dealing with that, etc. and bureaucracy and legal stuff and whatnot. So I think that that this element of learning how to fail and embracing it and coming back and getting up is also a kind of part and parcel of the lyrics of Warriors.
Hmm.
Because it says we stand, we rise, we fight, we fall, we get back up as if nothing happened at all.
Yeah.
And this is literally a lesson I would possibly like to teach a child.
Hmm.
That if a child learns this is the single greatest lesson of life you can ever teach your child or children or educate everyone today is making a mistake is absolutely fine, and you must play to win, but you must never compete to win. There's a difference. Because if you play to win, you're kind of competing, but
Hmm.
you're accepting that I love what I do, and that's it. So when you lose, you're not affected by it.
Hmm.
You're actually applauding
Closer to maybe.
trying.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you're working on right now that people of Block Warriors can look forward to, or even like newer audience? Is there anything else in the pipelines?
So I'm involved with two projects right now, which are exciting and keeping me busy. The first one is I've just launched my YouTube channel. So
Hmm.
that's new. And I'm learning YouTube and I'm studying YouTube, and it's so complicated, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a different theory, and I've gone through hundreds of hours of videos from experts and everything. And
Hmm.
I also have this kind of personality trait of reading a lot and understanding what people say, and then say, okay, that's only part of the picture. Now let's find the other set of missing
Yeah.
elements to form our own
Hmm.
conclusion. So YouTube is good. I post videos twice a week,
Yeah.
Monday and Thursday. So this evening there will be one, and that's really nice to kind of create a community if I can. And see, I'm truly quite bad at social media. I don't like it. I like to read. I like to meet people in person.
Yeah.
And having said that, I do have a small, I mean, a personal Instagram account, private one, and I love browsing um, wildlife stuff,
Hmm.
shark videos, and
Okay.
National Geographic, and those are unbelievable, absolutely amazing stuff, which will blow your mind. And that's the actual truth, because that's not uh, photoshopped or anything. That's
Yeah.
the natural world. And the second project I have, which I mentioned, is a wellness app which I'm launching soon, officially called Start Wellness, and it it is the first iteration of the app is focused on intermittent fasting, which is my lifestyle of wellness,
Hmm.
and I've been practicing it for years. So the app has a lot of potential, especially for the time we are in COVID and people
Hmm.
wanting to find the best possible way to stay healthy in these
Hmm.
times of ours. So that's something which is very exciting, and we're building foundations for that. So these two projects keep me very, very busy. And then I also run a philanthropic arm with my own personal foundation, which helps with anything and everything that goes out there. But mainly, my focus has shifted from raising money for cancer, MS, etc., to possibly education. And yes,
Hmm.
last year we did a lot of COVID stuff, but now we're back to kind of education focus. So people who actually need education, or we tie up with other bigger bodies to propel education in underdeveloped nations.
Which is incredible. And before I let you go, I will have to, because that beautiful piano is sitting right there. Would you please play something for us?
Oh yeah, Tanya mentioned that you wanted to. Okay, so I'll play you. Um, I'll play you Warriors on piano.
Yes.
We are shiver across the skies, shining agelessly burning. When you need us, call on us now. Cause it's just we are warrior. We don't back down. Horses are good, bound by we stand, we rise, we fight, we get back up as we are warrior. We don't back down. Forces are good. Stand, we rise, we back up as
That's so beautiful, Shan.
good song.
Yes.
I'll give you a little bit of how a kind of nursery rhyme works with it. We are shimmers across the sky, shining agelessly burning. When you need us, call on us and down will come. If the cause is just, I wish would. We are warriors, we don't back down. Forces are good bound by truth. We stand, we rise, we fight, we fall. You get back up as how.
Thank you so much, Jan. I really enjoyed that, and I really had a great time talking to you. Looking forward to what you put out next. Thank you so much. Bye bye.